Hello, 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 one and all, and welcome back to FPL Mate. We are here for a Game Week 19 deadline stream, and there's a lot of team news going on. There's a lot of things that have come in over the last well, a lot of stuff today, to be fair. A lot of pretty worrying things today that I'm sure a few people are not going to be super happy about. I do need to update the ticker because of the latest news. Um, Rice is reportedly out for Game Week 19. So the latest of which is Declan Rice, who is apparently, according to the Athletic, going to be unavailable for Game Week 19, having picked up an injury in Game Week 18. So yeah, that's like probably the biggest one in terms of those players who are like a lot of people have in their squads. It seems to be Declan Rice is the main one who is going to be missing, which is, I don't know. Is it? I think there were some rumors about some potential absentees, but I don't know. Did anyone really expect Rice to be out? Probably not. I think a lot of people probably bought Rice this week, to be honest. But that looks like that is going to be a bit of a troublesome one. The other, I would say, major one in terms of like people bringing in a certain player is going to be Keane at Everton, who apparently is now doubtful. So yeah, if you did pick up Michael Keane this game week, it's not looking great. He is also potentially going to be out for this game week, unfortunately. What else? What else is there? Rodon out for 3 weeks. Grealish is still doubtful following his illness. There's no news on Vandenberg, unfortunately, so we don't know if he's going to be available. A lot of stuff should be on screen, kind of on the ticker, where you guys can hopefully find out the kind of negative news on Richards as well. Richards again is doubtful for this game week. So it's in many ways the classic midweek disaster waiting to happen. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to be pretty upset, I think, about some rotations and what have you for this game week. Let me show you what my team is looking like right now. I think I'm oh wait, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Here we go. I think I'm pretty much sorted in terms of transfers. I'm not going to make a transfer. I've decided. FPL Homie, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel. But yeah, I've pretty much decided that I am not gonna transfer out Gordon. I was a little, I still am worried about him. I'm like fully expecting Gordon to be benched this evening, but I think a lot of people have kind of said to me, Dan, you cannot sell Gordon. Like, it's the what if, and I do agree with that. And I did kind of say in the team selection video that went out this morning, like when in doubt, the answer is probably to do nothing. So that's kind of the plan for me, is to do nothing and keep Gordon in my team. If he doesn't, if he is benched, hopefully he just stays benched, and I can maybe get Collins off the bench potentially there, because it looks unlikely I'm going to get Richards. So yeah, troublesome one. Troublesome one. A few people asking about Timber as well in the chat. There hasn't been anything solid on Timber, so I don't want to be kind of irresponsible in what I say about Timber. I've seen pictures of him with the squad, which is a positive sign. And I think the fact that Rice is unavailable, I don't think Ben White is going to be quite ready to start a game, but Ben White is with the squad. Yeah, it's interesting. There is going to be some worries, of course, around players like Timber as well. Some people going for Gabriel. Some people are going to. The Calafiori is another doubtful one. So is that going to mean Hincapie is going to play left back, or does it mean that Lewis Skelly is going to play left back? I don't know. I don't know. Arsenal are going to be a bit of a mess, to be honest. We'll have to wait and find out what happens with Arsenal. Um, but yeah, Rice seems to be the one who we're most certain is going to be out. Everything else, it's Calafiori, I think, is unlikely to play. I would say everything else is a bit of a mystery, to be honest. A bit of a mystery. But yeah, I think Keane Keane is a surprise to me to see Keane potentially out this game week. That only came in today. There's a potential bit of news there, which is annoying because I know a lot of people bought him. But it is what it is. I guess, um, it's the chaos, isn't it? And the chaos is can be helpful and it can also be disastrous. But I think for most people, as long as you're informed about these things, then you have the opportunity to do something about it, I guess. But yeah, I totally understand. It's a frustrating one for a lot of people, I think. But anyway, a few people have been asking me about free hit and wildcard drafts this week. So I am going to be making a free hit draft and a wildcard draft for at some point during this stream, and we'll flash them on screen as necessary as people ask throughout today. For those of you guys who are members of the channel at the starting 11 tier or above, we didn't have time for a member stream this week because the deadlines are just so tight together. So we will be doing a we'll be doing some team ratings, but that is specifically for members at the starting 11 tier or above, just to let you guys know that. Of course, if anyone wants to join as a member of the channel at the starting 11 tier or above, you are more than welcome to join and get your team rating rated today. But we'll be doing that primarily in the first hour of the stream, and then we'll switch to more generic stuff in the second half, Q&A type stuff. Few people more asking about Keane still. There's nothing flagged on Keane. I wouldn't expect it to be honest. The FPL website usually takes hours and hours to update from team news, and even so, the team news hasn't come from Moyes himself, and often FPL will only add flags to players if it comes from the managers. Whereby if it's reported by journalists or insiders in the club, then often that doesn't get picked up on the flags, which is why I always say, like, the flags in FPL, like the Doritos of death. This is kind of the reason why I kind of jokingly call these yellow triangles you see on players Doritos of death, because I think they're pretty useless. I really do. I think often okay, what I would say is that the triangles, the flags, whatever you want to call them, next to players' names, those for me are an indication to go and look up the injury status of the player. I don't, that the triangle themselves don't really mean much to me. But it's more like, okay, if a player has a triangle next to them and I didn't know about any injury issues, that's kind of a sign for me to go and look up what is the actual issue. And once you find out the actual issue, you can make a better assessment of whether you think they're going to play or not, or if they are going to be out, how long they're going to be out for. Because usually 25% chance of being out, 75% chance of playing, whatever. It's so arbitrary. It's so arbitrary. It really doesn't mean anything. And of course, as we know, FPL are pretty slow to update the flags as well. So it's like, is Keane gonna be flagged? Probably won't be flagged before deadline, and yet we have the information that he's gonna be out. He's not that he's gonna be out, but he is doubtful. Because I think that's an important distinction to make. He's not definitely out. He's just doubtful. And considering, he's due to play in a few hours, that's not great news. Is Rice flagged? Rice is flagged. Okay, so Rice is flagged. So at least there's that. 50% chance of playing. But again, 50% chance of playing is arbitrary. I think we can pretty much say that he's not going to play. And yet FPL is saying he's got a 50% chance of playing. I think he's more likely got like a 10% chance of playing, if we're honest. Keane isn't flagged. Of course, that as well. I wonder if these players are like some of the most transferred in players this game week as well. Probably are, aren't they? Yeah, Rice is up there. Keane, where is Keane? Oh, Keane is literally one of the most popular transfers in. Yeah, man, it's gonna be a rough one for some people, I think, who didn't see these coming. But this is why you guys tune into deadline streams. You get this information, right? Is Rice a sell? It depends. I don't think the injury is going to. From what I know, the injury is not anything serious or long term. So it depends. Can you cover him with your bench for one game week? Is he a player you're kind of planning on selling anyway in the near future? You know, for example, if you're tripled up on Arsenal and you have no Gabriel, and you know you want to get Gabriel soon, would Rice potentially be one of those players who were thinking about selling in order to get Gabriel in? If so, maybe just sell Rice this game week. But if not, if maybe you have other ideas of how you're going to get Gabriel in, or you only have 2 Arsenal players or something like that, then and particularly if you have bench cover, and that includes defenders. You know, if you've got Collins or maybe not Vandenberg, but if you've got, I don't know, Anderson or I don't know, Forest defender, Everton defender who is fit, Brighton defender Van Hecker, for example, something like that. Man United defenders, whoever else, even like Gay, Lacroix, all of these guys, I think are going to be absolutely fine backup for Rice for 1 game week only, possibly 2. If you had Rice, who would you transfer in around the same price? Probably Soboslai. If I had to sell Rice for someone, I think, yeah, I think, okay. So if for example I had Rice in my team right now instead of Gordon, for example, I would pretty much be pulling the trigger on the Rice to Soboslai move. But again, that is because I would be eyeing up freeing up an Arsenal spot anyway. But if I only had, you know, say I didn't have Saka and I had Rice instead of Saka, then I maybe wouldn't make the move. I'd just count on Collins as a backup, I guess. Maybe. We got a super chat here from Mark who says, start Wilson or Miley. Right now on Miley, but as Burnley is such a nice fixture and has good DEFCON potential, partially on corners, but Wilson is more advanced. I think I would play Miley over Wilson this game week. I think I'd be happy to do that. Yeah, it's just difficult against Crystal Palace away from home. Like Fulham can definitely score in that game, but you know we're looking at maybe 1 goal. Crystal Palace don't concede that many goals, do they? Particularly against like kind of weaker attacks like Fulham, you would say are. So yeah, Miley, some attacking potential. We think he's going to play right back. We think he's going to get DEFCON. Could be good. And we got another super chat here from Jacob who says, "What has keys but no locks, space but no room, and you can enter but not go in?" Computer keyboard as computer keys, spacebar, enter button. Is that correct? Have I solved your riddle today? I don't know. But yes, if I was to replace Rice, I would go for Soboslai. Any time for a free hit draft today? Yeah, a few people have been asking, to be fair. I think let's whip up one. Let's whip one up now. We'll do a wildcard one in a bit as well. So let's do this on my team tool. News on Richards is not looking particularly positive. I can't lie. Jacob says, Dan, you are big brain. Yes. Thank you very much for the super chats, Jacob. I appreciate it, and I'm glad we were able to solve your riddle. Excellent stuff. Have you got any more riddles for me? Feel free to essentially pay me to solve riddles. Right, so let's make this team. We'll put up in the obvious players, or at least players I perceive to be the obvious players in first of all. Okay. Wait, is this... Wait, I'm doing free hit, not wild card, so actually let's start again. They're saying that. I don't think you have to go Saka necessarily this week. We would still go Ekatike. We'd probably go... Would we take a risk on Gabriel? I want Cherky in here as well. Cherky and Foden did really well against Sunderland last time City played them, so I think that's positive. We can go for probably Hall. Probably should have some kind of Arsenal defensive coverage. Not sure who. Any news on Ballard? I mean, unfortunately not, because the Sunderland press conference is actually going to be tomorrow. So it's going to be after the deadline, sadly. But last time we heard, you know, he has a bit of a knock. So Okay, where were we? Who stands out as a goalkeeper this week? Who? Now, could we maybe go a little cheaper for goalkeepers? I feel like we probably could. Or is it just Raya? Do we just go to obvious Raya? Or Lamans? Lamans for 1 week against Wolves. You know what? Lamans seems to be pretty obvious, doesn't he? So because we could even triple up here. So if we go Dorgu, I think you'd have to go Dorgu. We go Lamans for a goalkeeper. Home against Wolves, you can't really do much better than that in terms of fixture. And then we need some defenders. I feel like we're pretty much covered everywhere else. So Hall is in, Dorgu is in. Is Virgil a little out there? We can't go any more Man City. We probably could do with an Arsenal. We could probably do a Gabriel, right? I think we can go for Gabriel. We save money on the goalkeeper a little bit, so we'll go Gabriel. Malik Chow is, yeah, definitely a potential one as well. If you wanted to double up. Who are we missing? Szoboszlai? Yep. Szoboszlai, good shout for this week. I like it. Let's throw him in there. Good value for money there as well. So from here, we pretty much need to decide, are we going to go for 4 in midfield? Oh, sorry, 5 in midfield or 3 in attack? So where do we go? Verts, Gordon, yeah, good suggestions here. Sharda is a good suggestion as well. I like all of those. Oh, Jacob's got another super chat riddle for me. I have a head and a tail, but no body. What am I? Coin? Is it a coin? Heads, tails? Like, I feel like coin tosses are very much in my mind when we're coming to FPL decisions. So I think I've got that one right. We got it, Jacob. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much, mate. You're making me feel smart, although I'm sure these riddles are actually probably quite easy, and I'm just overreacting. Palmer must be considered. I guess you could potentially go for Palmer. I mean, if you're on a free hit, you may as well take like some risks. And Bournemouth have been woeful. You know what? If we can make this work financially, which I don't think is a guarantee, then Palmer could work. The problem is we're spending a lot of money here. Is there a 3.9 million goalkeeper? There's 3.8? No. Let's try and squeeze out as much budget as we can here. So we'll go, I don't know, who's the most likely backup goalkeeper to play? Probably none of these guys. Let's go for the Fulham one. If we try and pick out, is there 3.7? Could we go Heaven here as like a backup for Gabriel? Could potentially work. Wait, why is it not letting me put him in? I'm bugging out. Oh, wait, no, I don't want Goodmanson. I want Heaven. We're in Heaven. All right, well, Goodmanson's in for now. We can fix it later. Barrow Perro says, nah, Saka is better and he's 0.1 cheaper. He shouldn't be. Should he be better, really? I don't know. That's, I think, debatable. Go Obi. Why is it not letting me put in any more Manchester United players? Have I tripled up? Oh, I'm already tripled up. That's why. Because we've got Lamans, Dorgu, Cunha. Okay. So in that case, I can't do Obi. Well, in that case, we'll go you. And maybe we should have gone for Klein there instead of Goodmanson. Okay. Yeah. We'll remove you. I'm thinking most people can probably afford this team, right? We can just pick a 4.5 defender for this game week. Maybe Tete is there. Maybe we should go a little cheaper. Mavropanos, 4.4. I guess whatever's affordable, right? There's a 4.3 that looks interesting. Matson, probably not. Ekdal. Ekdal's a possibility. Let's go Ekdal. Okay. So this team will cost 101.6. So I think a lot of people will be able to actually make a slight upgrade on this. I'm going to put Klein first. Sub. Okay. Yeah, in terms of a free hit team, that to me looks pretty strong. The only thing we're maybe missing here is a Newcastle attacker. And I do worry that it's just too difficult to pick a Newcastle attacker you can be confident in because of the minutes risk and the rotation. So I think for that reason, we haven't got Arsenal attack covered, but against Aston Villa, he's probably the kind of, if you are free hitting, you're probably looking at trying to punt against Arsenal because Arsenal obviously going to have a very high amount of ownership. So yeah, a few people asking about Declan Rice. Yeah, so it's been reported by The Athletic, literally like half an hour ago, that he is going to be unavailable. He picked up an injury in Gameweek 18, played through it, but they're gonna give him today off essentially against Aston Villa. So yeah, that is what's coming in. Came in from The Athletic, and if The Athletic are reporting something, it's usually pretty reliable. So yeah, Rice presumably is going to be out for this game week now. Yeah, I know. All right, so okay, what do we reckon about this free hit team? Are we there or thereabouts? 101.6 million budget team. Most people will be able to afford this. We've got most of the key areas covered, you would probably say. The only thing you can maybe switch around a bit is maybe go Raya in goal potentially, which would maybe even open up like swapping Gabriel for something. What do you think of buying Pope right now over Raya? I don't think so. Remember to change the fixtures down? What's wrong with the fixtures? Wait, are the fixtures incorrect? Oh, the fixtures are incorrect. How have I done that? That's weird. Okay, let me fix that now. Yeah, sorry guys, the fixtures on screen, on the left-hand side of the screen are for some reason wrong. That's okay, I can fix that. I think they were right at the start of the stream, weirdly. How has this happened? Oh, I see what I've done. I've done the Thursday fixtures are correct, but the Tuesday fixtures are not. So let me fix that now for us. Just bear with me one moment. What's wrong? It's just the first fixture, isn't it? It's just Burnley. That's the only thing that's wrong. It should be Burnley versus Newcastle. That's the own. Everything else is correct. Don't know how I messed that one up. I put Manchester United versus Newcastle instead of Burnley versus Newcastle. Yeah, okay. Everything else is right. It's my bad. I don't know how I managed that. I must have been thinking about Manchester United when I was making the graphics. For today's stream. Okay, that is resolved now. Thank you for pointing that out. I would not have noticed had you not said. Man United playing 2 games simultaneously. I know. Imagine. Right, there we go. Much better. Man United players can score twice. Hey, I tell you what, if that was the case, I would definitely be captaining Cunha if Man United were playing twice in one night. That would be handy. That'd be very handy indeed. All right, let's shut down Photoshop. We don't need that anymore. Okay. Well, speaking of Cunha captain, should we do a captain poll? I feel like we probably should. Who are the captain options today, guys? It's Haaland, Cunha, and Ekatike, right? Those are the big three. Super chat here. Another one from Jacob. No more riddle jokes for now, Dan. I'll have to dip. Don't miss me too much. Go on, Seagulls. All right, Jacob. Cheers, mate, for the super chats today. And I will be wishing you good luck for the Seagulls game, for the Brighton game. Good luck, my friend. And appreciate your generosity and a bit of fun. Bringing a bit of fun to the stream. Always good. Right. Who is your game week 19 captain? Super chat here from Mad Cobra as well that says Semenyo Anderson for Cunha Dorgu -4. Not convinced it's worth a -4. Is that your only way to get Cunha? Is there another way? Because is there a way to do it for free? Because the thing is, I think I definitely would consider that move. But Cunha and Dorgu are kind of like for 3 game weeks only, aren't they? So it's very likely you're going to have to use transfers to either move them back out. I think the good thing about Dorgu is because he is quite cheap, you can just bench him later down the line when the fixtures are a little rougher and maybe he's not in the starting 11 anymore. Right, so Haaland versus Sunderland away, isn't it? Cunha versus Wolves at home. We've got Ekitike versus Leeds at home. Those are your fixtures. And then we'll put other. Mike asking about the free hit team. What you see in front of you, my friend, is the free hit team. I will make a wildcard team in the very near future. I just wanted to throw up a captain poll, first of all. That's your only way, Mad Cobra. Okay, I would say if you're going to captain Cunha, take the hit. If actually you're not going to captain Cunha, I don't think I would do it. I still might, but I would be far less tempted to do it. But if you want to captain Cunha, just go ahead. What do you think about Captain Tarkovsky as a differential? Not really super keen, to be honest. Bowen as a third attacker instead of Szoboszlai? Not massively. Not. I mean, you could, but like, I wouldn't be super enthusiastic about that one. I do prefer Szoboszlai. I mean, Brighton isn't like a elite like fixture, really, is it? It's like it's okay. Like we're not targeting Brighton necessarily, are we? What about Sharda? Yeah, Sharda, you can definitely. I'd definitely be open to throwing Sharda instead of Szoboszlai. I'd be open to throwing in Gordon instead of Szoboszlai if you love risk and hate your mental health. But otherwise, I would leave pretty much all Newcastle attackers unless you really, really are feeling brave. Is triple captain Haaland still interesting for this week? If you have your triple captain, you have to use it on someone. I'd be looking at Haaland or Cunha. Basically, whoever you're planning on captaining anyway. Just got to use it, haven't you? Lucio, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel. Mucho apreciado. Can you do a wild? Yeah, we'll do a wildcard team in a moment. Before we do that, I did say we were going to rate some members' teams. So I'm going to do a little bit of that. And hopefully there'll be some good chat in there as well. 13 Killings has put in a super chat here. Thank you very much, 13 Killings. Very, very kind of you. Forced bench boost, 1 free transfer and 1.3 in the bank with this team. Raya O'Reilly, Anderson, Mukiele, Kanate, Van Dijk. Okay, that's fine. Foden, Cunha, Saka, Haaland, Thiago, and on the bench, Stack, Szoboszlai, and Gu. -4 for Saka out to upgrade Gu, or just let it be and Mukiele to Dorgu with 1 free transfer. With 1.3, can you get Gu to anyone? Let's check out the points predictions. Just to have a look. Of course, we'll have a look. So let's say you've got Gu at 4.2 plus 4.3 is going to be 5.5, let's say, for example. And we want this game week only. Robbie, Roja, oh yeah, it's not great. It's not great. And Nketiah? Nketiah? Yeah, you could just do Mukiele to Dorgu and play with 3. I don't think I'd take a -4, basically, 13 killings. I don't think I'd take a -4. So, yeah, Dorgu, Mukiele to Dorgu could work if you just want to fill out the squad. I don't hate Nketiah. The problem is with going Nketiah is that it's just, like, causing you more issues later down the line because you're probably not going to want to have that Nketiah spot. And you're going to probably have to downgrade Nketiah again. So that's one of the reasons I don't like the -4 as well, to be honest. So either upgrade Nketiah, or just do the Dorgu one and be content with 3 men on the bench. That's what I would do. How's our captain poll coming along, by the way? We've got 64% Haaland, we've got 22% Cunha, and 10% on Ekatike. There's still a decent amount of people going for Ekatike. I'm on Haaland right now, which I feel is so unlike me. Usually, like, I would see I would see like an opportunity like Cunha and just go for it. I wonder if I like having a weak game week 18 has kind of made me want to play a bit more conservatively this week. Not sure. Because I really love the Cunha captain, but for some reason I'm just leaning towards Haaland right now. We'll have to see. Ian says my team is the team on screen except Palmer and Charlotte in place of Cherky and Szoboszlai. Rate my team. Wait, how does that make sense? How can that be true? Palmer and Sharda in place of... Must be someone else and Sharda. Gordon and Sharda, maybe? But whatever the case, your team will be incredible right now. Let's go on some members. Rate my teams. Oh, apparently I'm not signed in. All right, hold on. Let me sign in. Bear with me one moment. You're going to have to look at a boring blank screen for a moment. Whilst I just log in. I can even remember my password. Let's give it a go. Hey, okay, I'm signed in. Right. We have got a couple of members. Teams to rate. All right, we've got Scott, Rohit, here for FPL, Mafon, and Carl. Let's see then. The free hit team, Offside Footy, was this team. Feel free to take a screenshot quickly. Or a photo of some kind, if you're watching on a screen. Right, so we're going to rate some teams. This is Scott's team. 1 free transfer. Nothing in the bank. How to get Cunha. Sell Saka or Timber to Heaven and Mouse. Oh, is Cunha worth a hit, though? Probably not, to be honest. I would do nothing in the bank. How can you get him? Where is all the money? I think you've got to start Timber, first of all. Got to start Timber. I don't think it's possible to get... Oh, no, Rice will have to go, won't he? Oh, so it's Rice to Cunha, and you'll have to downgrade someone. Maybe Mount to a 4.9, like an Enzo Lefebvre or a Stack or something like that. And that's probably the way, right? Yeah, Rice to Cunha. This is the way. And I would play Timber as well. I'm not sure instead of who. Probably Collins. Probably start Keane just in case as well. Anyway, that was pretty easy in the end. Sometimes injuries do help you to make the moves you want to make. Has to be said. Right, Rohit says, made 3 transfers, nothing left now. All right, well, let's just see. Thinking of delaying getting in Gabriel until 21. Yeah, I think that's fine, by the way, to delay a little bit. Use all your transfers. You've got a strong-looking team. Nothing really wrong with this. Would I rather play Collins than Wilson? I think I would. I think. Yeah. It's tough, isn't it? It's very close. Yeah, I think I'll play Collins instead of Wilson. But other than that, team looks good. Team looks strong. I like it. Yeah, no notes. And I think it's fine to wait a little while to get Gabriel. I'm probably, looking at my team, I'm probably looking at maybe, because my current route is if I keep Gordon, which I might do, I'm looking at maybe next week doing Richards down to Alderete to free up. I might not do it next week necessarily, but at some point, Richards down to Alderete, and that will free up the money to do Virgil to Gabriel, unless I can figure out another way. But it's like, at what point do I actually make that move? Because Burnley at home is a good fixture for Virgil. So I can either do it in game week 20, 21, probably more likely 20, or all the way in 24 when Virgil has his bad fixtures. There's a few nice jumping on points, to be fair. Like, maybe I just can't see myself doing it in 22. If I do the Virgil one anyway. But yeah, not sure. As long as he's in place, I say as long as I have Gabriel by game week 24, then it's fine. Because from there, he's just like a set and forget keep play every week. No more tough fixtures, really. Chelsea at home, 28. Man City, 33. That's it. Everything else is like looking like absolutely blessed. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know when I'm gonna get Gabriel yet. I mean, I'm all I know is I need to make sure at every moment I'm looking at ways to get him to make sure I can get him. But when it will happen, I don't know. We'll go through the remaining teams. So here for FPL is here. Oh my, that is small. Very small indeed. I know I asked earlier today. Oh yeah, Richard to Dorgu or Alderete and Semenyo to Dorgu and Sharda. Or Soboslai or Cherky. I mean, that's for a hit, right? Or is it for a hit? No, it wasn't for a hit. I prefer Soboslai to Sharda. And I'll happily say that. Do I prefer Cherky to Soboslai? Cherky and Soboslai are probably about even for me. I prefer both to Sharda. Maybe it's the second move in that case. But like Rodgers, I don't think there's any rush to get Rodgers. There's so much going on. There's so much to talk about. There's loads of good options there. But in general, to give some general thoughts on what you're asking here for FPL, because that is a lot. I prefer Soboslai and Cherky to Sharda. I think making a move off either Richards or Alderete to Dorgu is probably a good one. Rodgers, I'm personally not massively keen on, and I'm not even in a particular rush to get him next game week. So I wouldn't corner yourself into that move necessarily. And as always, it's always a good idea to ensure that you always going to have a little bit of money in the bank to get Van Dijk to Gabriel. I don't know if that's helpful or not. There's a bunch of thoughts. Okay, Mafon here as well has said, "Hey Dan, how you doing? So I had one free transfer and 2.1 million. Did Esteve to Dorgu. Now I have 1.9. Thinking of doing Shrewsbury Hall Gordon to Szoboszlai. Oh, not for a hit. No way. No way I would do those moves for a hit. Nah, I think rest. Rest with what you've got. Play Thiago for sure instead of probably Anderson or Van Hecker. Definitely play Thiago instead of one of those guys. And everything else is fine. There's no need to make transfers. There's no need to force transfers in this team. The main guys for this week are going to be like Haaland, Ekiti, K Cunha. Everyone else is a luxury. As long as your team is actually fit and available and have reasonably good fixtures and are, typically good players or players we have considered to be good over the past however long, Everyone else is at least somewhat of a luxury. It would be obviously nice to get Cherkis and Fodens and Soboslais and maybe some Newcastle defenders, Hall, Chow. It's nice to get these players, but like these are not players we take hits for. Cunha is probably the only player I would consider taking a hit for this week. Carl says 1 free transfer, 0.6 in the bank. Think upgrading defense is a bit of a luxury given I used all 4 free transfers last week. Main decision is who to captain. Then I go away from Haaland. He gets 13 points. When I give him the armband, he blanks. I mean, I don't think there's a wrong answer between Haaland and Cunha. I really don't think there's a wrong answer. So just go with your gut. I'm going to go for Haaland, I think. But I'm jealous. See file name? Oh, okay. Team notes were before Keane and Rice news. I see. Do I need to do Keane to Hall/Chow to ensure I play 11? Ah, okay. It'd be a shame to sell Keane, wouldn't it? It would be a shame to sell Keane because he still could play. And even if he doesn't, like, I don't think the injury is serious. I think I'd be... I think I'd be maybe more like... Okay, right, Carl, can I ask you a question? What is your Gabriel plan? Are you looking to do Timber to Gabriel or are you looking to do Virgil to Gabriel? Basically, are you looking to double up on the Arsenal defence in the near future or not? Because if you are looking to double up on the Arsenal defence, instead of selling Keane, it would be Rice I would sell. Because we think Rice is going to be out. And therefore, Rice to Soboslai makes sense because it also frees up just a little bit more money to give you that option to go Gabriel. I mean, you could even do Lacroix to Gabriel if you did. No, maybe not that, but still, it frees up a little bit of money. It covers you for this game week. But if actually you don't want double Arsenal defence, actually you would rather keep Rice. He want him a long term. And actually it's Timber as the player you want to make a way to go to Gabriel at some point. Last time you suggested I sell Rice, he got 11 points. Fair point. But he is injured. So I don't think he's going to get 11 points this week. All right. Well, look. That's my opinion. If you're looking to get Gabriel by selling a player other than Timber, then an Arsenal player needs to go. And given that Rice is injured anyway, that just would make sense to me for him to be the guy to go. But you like Rice. You like Rice, clearly. In that case, and we have Miley to cover as well, to be fair. We have Anderson and Miley to cover. In case Keane and... Well, Rice isn't going to play, but... Well, I say isn't. Like 10% going to play. If Keane doesn't play, you've got 2 bench players there to come in and cover, which isn't too bad. Maybe do it. When in doubt, do nothing. Is that the answer? Is that the answer? I don't know. Maybe. This is Ali's team. Just get shot if Keane and Timber are out. I don't think Timber's going to be out. He could, of course, Timber could be, but I think Timber is probably more likely to play than not. Timber, I'd probably give like 60% chance of starting. Keane is like under 50% chance of starting for sure. But like Keane is useful for future game weeks as well. It's not just this week. Keane, you can still get more use out of Keane. So I don't think he's like a must sell. Because I get the impression that Keane is not a long-term injury. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, I mean, look, if you want to get rid of Keane, if you're just looking for validation to sell Keane, then yeah, go for it. It's an absolutely fine move. But anyway, Ali's team. How long till Branthwaite is back? He's back. Branthwaite should, in theory, be in full training this week. So it's just a case of how long he takes to reintegrate. It's been a long time since he played football, and Keane has been playing well. So I don't think as long as Keane is available, I think Branthwaite is probably not going to come straight back into the team. probably going to be a few more game weeks. But again, if you're worried about that, sell Kane. It would solve a headache later down the line, but in a way it wouldn't because you're just replacing. Oh, no, do you want to? I don't know. Take your pick. Loads of good options there, Carl. Loads of good options. Which one resonates with you the most? Let's look at Ali's team. Ali's team. I mean, Collins to come in for Rice, I think is absolutely fine. So if the transfers have already been made here, I definitely wouldn't be forcing it. I wouldn't be taking a hit on this team necessarily. It's going to do the job, I think. Is Rice out? We think Rice is going to be out, yeah. Right, Jessel says Anderson Richards to Chow Dorgu. Oh, if it's you've got 2 free transfers. Anderson Richards to Chow and Dorgu. I quite like that, to be fair. No transfers made, Ali. In that case, let's go back to your team, Ali. In that case, could you? I don't know. This team seems pretty strong. What could I suggest here? Because I do genuinely think Collins is fine as cover, and I feel like this team does not need a transfer. The only reason to make a transfer is just to create extra cover. Because Rice is going to be short term out, so as long as you can cover him, you could just keep him. You've only got 2 Arsenal, so you don't need to sell Arsenal players to facilitate Gabriel or anything. You still want Gabriel later? That's fine, because you only have 2 Arsenal players, so that's not going to be a problem for you. If you're desperate for bench cover, I would maybe consider selling Richards to... Like, you could do Richards to Heaven, for example. Or Richards to Dorgu, potentially. Richards to Dorgu. If you want that extra bit of cover, Richards to Dorgu would be the move I would make. How about that? That's a pretty good suggestion. Jessel wants to make that double move. Anderson and Richards to, what is it? Dorgu and Chow, which I like, to be fair. Grealish is doubtful, so you're going to need to find some kind of coverage there. Everything else seems to be in good order. Ideally, you don't want to play Mukiele. Mark Yu is not great either. And no Richards. Okay, so we are going to need to find some coverage with this team, really, because the bench is... Well, I mean, it's non-existent. Mukiele... we got Mark Yu. Then if Richards and Grealish don't play, then all you have... Well, then you have to start Mukiele, essentially, which is troublesome. Yeah, 2 transfers I would go ahead and make. Anderson and Richards to Dorgu and Chow. Looks good to me. Looks good to me. The only other suggestion is maybe to take Grealish to Szoboszlai. That is another option. And you know what you could even do Grealish to Szoboszlai, and then just move one of Anderson or Richards. You know what? I think I would be more likely to do Grealish to Szoboszlai. And then if you wanted to do the extra transfer to move one of Anderson or Richards to... Anderson you probably wouldn't do. You can maybe then do Richards to Dorgu as coverage, but like maybe not completely necessary. I think I would be fine with just doing Grealish to Szoboszlai, to be honest. Just one transfer. I think that's what I would do, genuinely. But your suggestion is also very good. I like both options. I got a super chat here from Enzo, who says, worth a -4 to move to Rice. To move Rice. No free transfers on bench boost. Current other midfielders, Rogers, Cunha, Semenya, Foden. Oh. It depends. Were you planning on moving Rice out in the near future anyway? Do you need to free up a Arsenal slot to get Gabriel in? If so, yes, I would move Rice to Szoboszlai. I think. What? No, what? No, you don't have any plan. You know, you're not tripled up on Arsenal. Yeah. Need more clarity, Enzo. Give me clarity, and then hopefully I'll be able to give a better answer to that. Yeah, I need to know your Gabriel situation. Do you have 3 Arsenal, including Rice? Do you have a plan in place to move Timber to Gabriel? These are all very important factors of whether you're going to sell Rice or not. I think if you're going to sell Rice, you need more motivation than just he's out for this game week. 3 Arsenal already, yes. In that case, we have no Saka though, so presumably you're already doubled up on the Arsenal defense. So in which case you're probably not going to triple up, are you? So okay, that does sway me towards keeping Rice. Hmm. I don't know, Enzo. Maybe I would. I prefer Soberslai, but a lot of other people prefer Rice. That's too tough, man. Enzo, that is too tough a question. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer in that one, which I know is probably not what you wanted to hear because you probably wanted that nudge in one or the other direction. What would I do? I think I would probably just take the hit. I think. But not comfortably. Nah, it's good, man. Thanks. Get it's tough. It is. If you have a gut feeling on that one, Enzo, either way, I would go with your gut. If you force me into an answer of what I would do personally, I would probably take the hit. But that's because I'm not super keen on Rice as an FPL asset compared to a lot of other people. And I would probably be angling towards getting someone like Saka at some point. Anyway, I don't know. FPL Mate the Goat says, but by the way, that's not me saying that. Someone is actually called FPL Mate the Goat. That's their name. That's their username. I'm not saying that. How long is Rice's injury and who to change to? Rice is probably just going to be out for this game week. Probably going to be back for the following week, but I can't say that for sure. But I would guess that he's back in Game Week 20, and the best replacement in my mind is Szoboszlai. So, looking at Ben's team, because we still haven't looked at Ben's team. I think this is the last team rating, by the way, guys. Oh, you're 10 minutes behind here for FPL? Oh, no problem, man. I'm sure you'll hear this what I'm saying now in 10 minutes. That's good. Do a lot of people like watch this stream on a delay if they missed the start? Do you kind of go back to the start of the stream? I do that on other streams, but like when it's a deadline stream, I kind of want it to be as up to date as possible. But anyway, Ben says, sorry it's late. I have 1.5 million in the bank. Unsure if to replace Enzo or Gordon next week and to who. No free transfers till next week. I also want Van Dijk to Gabriel soon. Say nothing in the bank. 1.5 in the bank. That's going to be easy to get to Gabriel at least. There's a bench boost as well. No free transfers. Oh, that's rough. Wait, are we on a hit? Ben, just to make you aware, Keane and Richards are both doubtful. In terms of Enzo, I don't think, if you're keeping Gordon, I think you're keeping Gordon. I wouldn't worry about who you're going to replace him with yet. Enzo replacements, I mean, you could potentially look to sell Enzo. I'm not really sure who to, though, in your price range. I mean, when Rice is back, maybe Rice is the player to be looking at. Maybe Sharda, depending on your feelings on him. Yeah. I think it's a little early, to be honest, Ben, to be looking at replacements for next week. That's what I would say. I completely forgot about bench boost for some reason, hence why I've wasted this week. Hate myself for forgetting. Hey, man, happens to the best of us. Could take a -8 for a bench boost. I don't think so. I don't think it's worth it. I think you firm it. Because, like, to be fair, like, you're talking about a -8 for a bench boost. If your bench scored 8 points, plus whatever Dubravka and Van der Ven score, you'd probably be pretty happy with that. So you can kind of save yourself in a way. You can lock yourself in 8 points, or at least lock yourself in not losing 8 points, I guess. Nah, it wouldn't take a -8. Yeah, I think, unfortunately, you probably just have to firm it. Well, to be honest, if Keane doesn't play as well, it's just Dubravka. It's a bench boost of just Dubravka potentially there. Is there any big improvement? Okay, maybe a -4 for Dorgu, because yeah, it's gonna be tough. Mad Cobra says start Harry Wilson or Thiago. Oh, definitely Thiago out of those two. Okay, Ben, maybe we do need to look at some -4s here. Maybe if with players that you're willing to sell for the long term anyway, maybe I would sell Keenan Richards. Can you do? This could be worth a -8. I'm not sure. Could you do Kuhn to Gabriel, Richards to like either Dorgu or Heaven? Can you do that? Because then you're improving your team. Well, you're definitely improving your team for this week, but you're improving it for the longer term as well. Is that possible? If not, like maybe Hall and Dorgu or something like that for Keane and Richards. Keane and Richards are the problem players because we don't know if they're going to play or not. You'd be gutted if they both did play, but we just have no guarantee of that. Oh, there's too much to think about here, man. It's too much risk assessment. There's too much unknown. I really don't know what to suggest, man. But those are some suggestions I would maybe consider if it was me. Sorry, I can't be more helpful. I always feel bad I can't be more helpful. Ian says, worth punting on Frimpong or Bradley on a free hit, or should I just play it safe with Van Dijk? Any idea who starts at right back? I wouldn't be taking that risk personally. I don't really see the benefit of going for that risk, Ian. Like, even if you get a hit on Frimpong or Bradley playing, like Van Dijk is getting the same amount of clean sheet points. Damien says, any news on Grealish, Timber, Vandenberg, and Richards? I've got all of them on one free transfer. Should I use it or roll? I think probably use it. Grealish is doubtful. So it seems pretty negative about Grealish right now, unfortunately. Timber, I think, is optimistic. I think you can be optimistic on Timber. Vandenberg is a mystery. There's been no press conference notes on him. And Richards is looking negative. But again, still possible. So I'm not ruling out Grealish and Richards, but I'm just saying it's probably less likely than likely that they play. So Timber good. Grealish, Richards probably bad for this game week. Vandenberg, a true mystery. Marsden says, Dan, can you check my super chat? Oh, did I miss a super chat? Oh, I did. Thoughts on downgrading Timber to Dalot/Dorgu to bring in a midfielder such as Sharda, Rogers, Gordon, current midfielders Saka, Cunha, Foden, Cherky, Enzo? I mean, I prefer Szoboszlai to Sharda and Rogers. I mean, maybe you could think about Rogers next week, but definitely not this week. I don't think I would bother downgrading Timber to do it. Certainly, I don't think I would make any of those moves this game week, but maybe reassess next week. Yeah. Because it might be Timber to Gabriel as a move you're thinking about as well, to be honest. You're welcome, Damien. So I guess that's you, Ben. Keane, Richards to Gabriel, Dorgu is exactly my budget. I might just do Richards to Dorgu and only take a -4. Yeah. I think I'd be more likely to sell Richards than Keane, but I think both of them are doubtful. I don't know which one I would say, man. I think I would take a -4 in your situation, and I would consider a -8. But that's just a case of, I think, risk assessment, what you think the risk is. Mabel says, "Hey Dan, sell or keep Minter? If sell, for who?" I think I would keep him. I think I would keep him for this week. The fixture's nice, man. We've got a Rob T market projections update. Might as well check that one out, right? So this is going to be the projected goals. Is that pretty visible and clear for you guys? Hopefully it is. And by the way, just to let you know, we are 57 minutes out from deadline. So we're in the final hour now, guys. Right. Market projected goals. Haaland, 0.92. Thiago, 0.57. So those of you guys thinking about benching Thiago, have a rethink, I think. Cunha is in the joint with Sheshko with 0.55 projected there. Matata 0.53, Palmer 0.51, Ekatike 0.51, Gyökeres 0.5, Altamano 0.48. So I think, Palmer being there does kind of justify me putting Palmer in the free hit draft, I think. We got to do a wildcard draft as well, don't we? All right, bear with me. Szoboszlai's up there, 0.43. Gordon is 0.4. We've got Saka 0.38. Any other interesting ones there? Bowen 0.35. Mount 0.33. Foden 0.33. Calvert-Lewin 0.3. Verts 0.29. Semenyo 0.29. Cherky 0.23. Projected goals there as well. Don't know if that helps any decision making, but we thank Rob T as always for his efforts. And I think with that said, I say we do you guys a wildcard team. Righty ho. Okay, with a wildcard team, we gotta go for the big dogs, I think. I'm gonna go for Gabriel. Still think I like Raya as a goalkeeper. Just so safe, right? Just so sensible. I'll go Hall. Or a wild card. Would I go Dallo for a wild card? Nah, it's just too much more expensive, isn't it? Maybe we'll just stick with Dorgoop. We got Cunha already. We used a lot of budget already, to be fair. We'll go a 4.3 forward. Unless it's only Obi at 4.2. Who's the cheap forward to go for at 4.3? Without, unless you just go Obi. Maybe Obi is the play. Okay. Then we are locked out of a third Man United player. But to be honest, Man United fixtures beyond the next three are not that great. We'll do bench list shortly as well, don't worry. Yeah, so you got like Man City, Arsenal. The fixtures really are targeting the next three with Man United. So I don't think a triple up is super likely. So I like Szoboszlai, as we've mentioned at several points during this stream. So I'll throw him in as well. And I think you've kind of got a choice between Foden or Cherky. You could go both. Maybe going for Cherky could save a little bit of dosh. Save a little bit of Wonga. Is that the play? Not sure I'll go Rare anymore, to be honest. Who would you go for, though, in a double Arsenal defence setup? That's the question. Because I still think long term, particularly like from, what did I say? Game week, what is it? 22? Like game week 22 onwards, like double Arsenal defence just looks great for like the rest of the season. And you're going to have another wild card if you do want to reassess that anyway, to be honest. So I don't know who else. I don't know who else I would go for in a triple Arsenal. But I get it, right? Raya at this point, I think because I bought Raya at 5.5, it's kind of different. But if you've never had Raya and you're having to buy at the full 6, I definitely understand not going for him. Right, I think Dubravka is still the pick of the 4 millions. I don't think John is going to be there long term. So we'll go Dubravka. We can probably pick. Would you pick Virgil or not? I think the choices here are O'Reilly. Would we double on the Newcastle defense? Probably not. So it's O'Reilly, Virgil. And I still like Collins. Chalobah worth a go? 5.6 now. That is a lot. That is a lot. Estev and Timber news. Both Estev and Timber looking positive. Both looking positive. I think I want one of Tarkovsky or Chalobah there, because Chalobah's a really nice long-term option. So we're going to go Chalobah. We're going to go Chalobah. So that means we have around 5 million per pick for the final players. Is there a cheap? We need to go for like a cheap midfielder, maybe like a 5.3 or less. Could go Anderson, could go Wharton, or like even Gomez. Where's Gomez? Wait, how much is Gomez? Gomez a little bit more. Can't find him. I'll just type his name in. Gomez. 4.9. Nailed on, right, Gomez? Would we say? Let's have a look. Gosh, we'll have a look. So that game he was suspended, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he starts every game. Does he get DEFCON? No, he doesn't. He's got close a few times. Nah, you know what? We're not going Gomez. But he is a nailed on cheap midfielder. But I think we could do better. I think we could do better. I mean, maybe the answer is just Anderson. Unless there's something cheaper. Miley. Let's go Miley. Nice and cheap. And that is going to free up a bit of budget for our final picks. So let's go. I want to go Turkey. And I want to go. Let's assume we have a budget of about 102 million, which would give us 6.1 to go for the final defender. That's actually quite a lot of money. Let's go for. People are going to say Rodgers, aren't they? People are going to say, "Where's Rodgers?" You can move Cunha to Rodgers in a few weeks. That's probably what I would do. Just go Cunha to Rodgers. I mean, there's a good chance I do that, to be honest. If you like Rodgers, go for him. But I'm going to go for a Rodgersless team. Such a thing exists. Okay, so one more. Is it just O'Reilly? Is O'Reilly the simple and smart solution to all of this? Looking through these players, he pretty much is. Yeah. Ruben? Yeah, why spend extra? You get a better attacking threat from O'Reilly. It's either O'Reilly or Tarkovsky. I'm going to go for O'Reilly. There you go. There is a wildcard team that I'm sure everyone will agree is fantastic. And there definitely will not be any fights about how awful this team actually is. The difficulty is, this looks like a lot of people's regular teams. You could improve this by moving Cherky to Foden, potentially. You might need to downgrade one of the defenders in order to make that happen. Either Chalobah or O'Reilly would probably be the two I'd be most willing to sacrifice. But yeah, I think in general, this team looks pretty sweet. Let's save it and just do a little and optimize for future game weeks. So you would have to play O'Reilly against Chelsea. I don't think that's too much of an issue. Yeah. This team's alright, man. Bear in mind, I have done this on the fly, so it's like probably not going to be as well thought out as maybe if I was to spend a whole day on it, obviously. But no, in terms of a wildcard team, I think something a little bit like this, maybe not necessarily exactly like this, but I like it. Can't do it. It's minus 1.2 million. It's only minus 1.2 million if your budget is 100 million exactly. And I think most people have a budget of well over 100 million by this point. So it says minus 1.2, but that's based on a 100 million budget. Everyone has a different budget. Well, I'm hoping most people will be able to afford this. Super chat from T Salama, who says Rodon to Dorgu or Minter to Soboslai, or Wilson to Soboslai and bench Timber or Anderson. I bench Anderson over Timber, and I think I'd do Rodon to Dorgu because we know Rodon's going to be out for sure. And I think actually Minter and Wilson, I would prefer to have Soboslai, but like I don't think Minter and Wilson are bad picks. I think they're fine, and Rodon is definitely out. So Rodon to Dorgu is the one to definitely improve your team. And Dave here says, anyone obvious missing in this team? Verbruggen, Gabriel, Keane, O'Reilly, Palmer, Foden, Cunha, Gordon, Anderson, Haaland, Ekatike. Keane is injured. So, well, potentially injured, likely injured. So that is that's not missing, but I mean it's a concern. What is this? Is this a free hit team or a what are we looking at here? A wild card? If this is a wild card or a free hit, I would definitely remove Keane. And Gordon is risky, but it's kind of optional. Well, it is. Ian says bench is weak, but I like it. Palmer when Chelsea's first turn. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people will do Saka, Cunha, maybe even Foden to Palmer in the near future. But I think that's enough weeks out from now that probably don't need to worry too much about it. You can't do this, Pero. Oh man, okay. In that case, downgrade O'Reilly to a cheaper defender. There you go. That solves that one. Matthias says, Dan, who do I play between these three? Richard, Stack, Collins. I would play. I would try and play Richards. I ordered them in Richards, then Collins, then Stack. But I don't think Richards will play. There you go. Right, so that's the wild card done. That's your free hit in case anyone wanted to see the free hit draft. So I suppose we could probably move on to the bench list, can't we? I think it's about time. How long until we all just cave and get DCL? Not long, mate. Not long. What to do with Rice and one free transfer? Depends. If you have bench coverage and you want to keep Rice long term, keep Rice. If you actually don't want Rice long term and you don't have bench cover, sell Rice. I think that is the best way of answering that question for as many different people as possible because it is so difficult. It's so team dependent what you do with Rice. So you really have to judge it based on your own kind of team setup and what you're planning on doing in the future. Samita says, hey, Dan, thanks for all the content. Really helpful. No questions today. Just appreciation. Thank you very much, mate. It is my pleasure. It is my pleasure. Let's do a bench list, guys. Let me just set her up for us. Just bear with me one moment because I've still got all of the stuff from last week. I'll leave a couple of players on screen. Okay. Right. Let's get this show on the road. Right. I suppose. Actually, let's just check to see if we've got any team or injury news in the last hour. Anything new? Why is Twitter is really trying to get me to upgrade to Premium Plus? Why would I want to do that? I can't think of any motivation. Can't see anything significant. Got a super chat here from Jay Pitts who says, I idiotically brought Rice in early with Richards and Rodon's injured on the bench. Do I take a -4 to take him out? I mean, could you do Rodon to someone? Rodon to Dorgu, Rodon to Heaven? Maybe worth a -4 just to give you that cover? Yeah, I got nothing. Yeah, it's difficult, Jay Pitts. It happens to the best of us, particularly with price changes and what have you. But yeah, Rodon is the one who is definitely injured and injured for several game weeks, so he makes the most sense to sell, I would say. And there are some nice cheap options in the Man United defenders at the moment, so I think it's a good time. Frimpong and Dallo are not going on the bench list, Ian, because I know what you're doing. You're using this not as a bench list, but as a free hit recommendation list, aren't you? You're misusing the bench list, and you know how I feel about people misusing the bench list. It's not for transfer tips. It's for benching headaches only, I think. Right, super chat from Ibrahim who says -8 Semenyo, Tete Rota to Neto, Chow, and Mari Hutchinson on a bench boost. Not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell. I would just Semenyo, Tete Rota. They're absolutely fine for your bench boost. They're absolutely fine. No need to take a -8 to go anything crazy. I mean, I don't know where Neto and Amari Hutchinson are coming from. They're random. They're random. No, don't think I'll do those. Anoop Nair says, will Erdegaard and Frimpong play? Probably Erdegaard, yeah. Frimpong, less likely, but what would the chance? I would say Frimpong is like 50-50. But Erdegaard, I think, will play. But of course, I don't know. Nobody knows. For sure, at least. Right, we need bench list suggestions, guys. We need suggestions. Please give me some suggestions. Collins, Wilson, Anderson. Okay, good suggestions. So, I was saying that. Didn't I see that odds were actually better for... No, we have got some changes here. What were the odds, the clean sheet odds better for Crystal Palace, or was it Brentford? Oh, it's Crystal Palace still, yeah. Okay, fine. Cool. All right. In that case, we'll still keep Collins here. I'll put Vanderberg there. Thank you, Brandon, for the super sticker. I'm not sure if there was meant to be a message there. Bear with me. I'm just going to sneeze. Am I going to sneeze? I don't know. Right, we need Wilson. Who honestly I will probably bench. Like, he's an okay pick, but he's very benchable. I'm going to put Anderson. I'm going to put Andersen. I think Andersen down here. Probably reasonable. Heaven. I mean, if you have Heaven, I don't really know why you would bench him. We'll just put the boys here. I'll put Dorgu above as well. I'll put them above. Grealish. I mean, to be honest, I don't think I played Grealish regardless of whether he was available or not, to be honest. And who else do we have? Van Hecker. It's not an ideal fixture away from home, but it's okay. There are worse fixtures to be had. I guess the fact that he doesn't really get DEFCON does drop him a little lower, so I'm going to put him here. Keane. I think if you have Keane, you just play him. Like, you don't mess around with that one too much. If you have Keane, play him. Or at least if you're keeping Keane, play him. Minter, I would play above a lot of these guys. Lewis Miley, I guess, would go kind of in this kind of area. Verbruggen and Dubravka. Okay. I'll put Dubravka below. Heaven's already on there. Alderete is going to go rock bottom. Crap. Senesi. Oh, actually, I tell a lie. Senesi's going to go. Where's Senesi going to? Yeah, Senesi's going to go above Alderete. I'm going to put Konate alongside Virgil. Spread them out a bit so they're easy to see. Keane is on there already. Sells. I would put above these guys, actually. I mean, he may not play, but I think it's worth a go. Tarkovsky would go alongside Keane. Van der Ven would go low, to be honest. With no DEFCON, he's arguably lower than Senesi and Alderete. I'm going to go here, though. Or maybe, actually, maybe here. O'Reilly can go on. He's going to go reasonably high for me, I think. I'm going to put him above Virgil and Konate, I think. Putting a lot of defenders pretty high this week. It's a good week for. It's going to be a good week for clean sheets by the looks of things. There's going to be some opportunities here. I'm not going to put any Newcastle players here because I think you probably don't need me to tell you to play Newcastle players against like the worst team in the league. Burnley. Well, underlying stats, worst team in the league. Enzo Lepay. Okay. I think that's a pretty easy bench this week. Calvert-Lewin. I've seen a few Calvert-Lewin suggestions. So Calvert-Lewin would go. I think you have to give him a decent chance. Have I overrated Minter here? maybe not. So Calvert-Lewin, I'll go above a lot of these defenders. I'm gonna put him reasonably high. Penalty taker, in form, inevitably going to ruin Liverpool's clean sheet. Foden's not going on the bench list. You don't bench Foden ever. Petrovic. We could fill a few more goalkeepers, to be fair. So Petrovic is going to go down there. Actually, let's add some correct accents to our Eastern European friends. What else? Rice. I mean, I guess if you have Rice, you just kind of start him and hope for the best. No, in most instances, maybe not. I'm gonna put Rice like. Let's just throw him like in the middle. Oh, that's not what I'm gonna do there. Let's throw Rice in the middle. Thiago. I can't believe so many people are like thinking about benching Thiago. Thiago is number 1 on the bench list. He would go number 1 here for me. No doubt about it. Is it people worried about his like potentially getting like rotated, rested? Not sure. Oh wait, this team news came in an hour ago. Wait. Team news on Igor Thiago. Thiago had a bit of an issue, but nothing to do with his injury last season at all. This time of year takes its toll, and we need to be careful with some players at times. He showed a lot of bravery and courage to play against Wolves and gave us that platform. He played really, really well, and that gave us that base to win the game. There's nothing too much to worry about. He's shown a lot of courage and put the team before himself going into the last couple of games. What does that mean? Does that mean Thiago is going to be benched? Does that mean he's going to give Thiago a rest? Or maybe there is some concern there. There is perhaps some worry there. I mean, if Thiago was 100% fit and available, he would go at the top without doubt. But if there is some concern about rotation, then maybe that does drop him down a little bit. Sorry, I only just read the press conference note on that one. Yeah, let's drop him down a couple of spots, but oh, crap. Why is it doing mini text? I know why. I'm gonna put him here. DeAndre member for 46 months. That is quite a long time. One free transfer, Goodmanson to Dorgu, or roll and start Anderson. I'd probably roll and start Anderson, to be honest. Probably. So are we considering Thiago a potential issue? I don't know. He's maybe due a rest, I think, is the kind of message there. Surprised Miley is so high, unlikely to get defensive contribution against Burnley. I mean, like, at right back, he's always going to have a chance of DEFCON because he gets recoveries despite playing in defence, and some set piece threat as well on some set pieces. And Burnley are susceptible to conceding from set pieces, so yeah, I think Miley is still interesting. He's gonna have some involvement in the set pieces. Does that Thiago worry help or diminish Sharda in terms of FPL? I mean, I guess. I mean, in open play, it helps. You want Thiago on there, but Sharda is the backup penalty taker, right? So that is the headline there. That maybe if Thiago wasn't to play, that Sharda could be on penalties. So you could look at either way. I think it's the same thing with Cunha, right? Like people saying, "Oh, Bruno's out. Is Cunha better or worse?" Different ways of looking at it. Pick your agenda and roll with it and rock with it. Why not? Right, Timber. People are worried about Timber. I think I would be pretty happy to put Timber #1 on the bench list. Just play him. I think he's going to start. I think you're looking good there. And if he doesn't, hopefully he just doesn't play at all. Semenyo. I mean, I'd be happy to play Semenyo, I think, this week. Maybe. Yeah. Right, got a super chat here from Matt who says Semenyo to Szoboszlai, Virgil to Gabriel, or Richards to Dorgu. 2 free transfers. Also have Rodon and Anderson in defense. I have Cunha, Foden, Saka, and Miley. Okay. Could you do Rodon to Dorgu? I mean, Richards to Dorgu isn't bad either, to be fair. What do I do? I think the only one that definitely improves your team is Richards to Dorgu. Or like Rodon to Dorgu, for example. Semenyo to Szoboszlai could kind of go either way, I think. Virgil to Gabriel could go either way as well. So I don't think they're a great use of transfers. Unless you just feel like, making a luxury move or you're worried about price changes or stuff like that. But Richards to Dorgu, without doubt, improves your defense. Particularly if you feel like you might be counting on Rodon and Anderson a little bit. Or, you want to bench Miley, but feel you can't, for example. Yeah, I think I'd make the defender move. Hincapié on the bench list. All right, okay. So I'm going to put Hincapié. I feel pretty optimistic about Hincapié. No, I don't. Do I? I feel like he still has a chance. Is he worth the risk? I'm going to put him a little lower than some of these other guys, but I'm not going to put him down in the trenches. Any Newcastle lineup news? I wish, man. I wish. That would be the dream. Wait, hold on. Little drips of team news potentially coming in, but not sure. Super chat from Red Sox Kid says, Chow/Hall, who do you prefer this week and longer? I think if you're looking really, really long term, then Malik Chow. But if you're looking short to medium term, Lewis Hall. I would go for Lewis Hall. I think the only problem with Hall, I think Hall is the better pick than Chow. But the problem is with Hall is once Dan Burn is back, that does, and even when, Livramento's back, we start to get some rotation risk for Hall. But I think the positives maybe outweigh negatives. So yeah, let's go over some of these. Man, he's getting crazy. There's so many different varying pieces of news and information. I don't even know. Conflicting a lot of the time. But saying that Keane's not in the squad. Man. Doesn't Timber is with the squad, but we don't know if he's going to start or not. I haven't got anything on Calafiori, whether he's in the squad or not. Havertz is with the squad. White is with the squad. Don't know. Roy Wilding with the super chat says, appreciate all the great content, Dan. All the best for the new year. Oh, thank you very much, my friend. Much appreciated. Thank you. Little cheeky fiver. We'll take it all day. Thank you very much, my friend. I really do appreciate it, Roy. Roy. And we've got a member of the channel as well. Yigit Baraket has come back to return as a channel member. Thank you very much. Okay, should we put Rogers on here? A lot of people have Rogers, don't they? I feel like Rogers is going to be pretty low here. Do I dare put Rogers this low, or is it going to upset too many people? Who knows? Danny Welbeck, maybe worth a punt. Apparently, Welbeck is potentially available to start, as is Kaldu Mitoma, which is a nice boost for Brighton if these guys are available to play. So in that sense, maybe because there is a little bit more risk, maybe we drop Welbeck just below Minter because of that rotation risk. Have you made your mind up about captaincy decision yet? I'm still leaning towards Haaland, but I like Cunha a lot. And I feel like I could live to regret the decision of going for Haaland. But the good thing is, whatever happens with Cunha today, I have 2 days of hope that Haaland can come in and beat it. As long as Cunha doesn't score like 20 points. As long as Cunha doesn't score a hat-trick, I will always have hope that Haaland can come and match it or beat it. But we'll see. Would I do Rice to Cunha for a hit? Oh, that's a good question. I think I would potentially, actually. Chow, please. Chow is on the bench. No, he's not. No Newcastle players on the bench list. Like these players you play. There we go. Thank you, David, for the kind words. Much appreciated, my friend. I'm going Haaland, so everyone should pick Cunha, as I always make the wrong captain choice. I think Haaland is a low-risk captain choice. If it goes poorly, then you know you're going poorly with a lot of other people. Which Wilson is that? Harry. Still start Keane over Konate, even though he's a doubt. I mean, if Keane's not playing, then he's not playing, and you're going to get an auto sub anyway. As always, this is a bench list. It is nothing to do with transfers. So please do not take transfer advice from, or free hit advice or anything like that from the bench list. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people opting to play Dubravka instead of Raya, which I'm not totally convinced by, to be honest. Which Newcastle mid would you buy for Semenyo? None, to be honest. Steve says thanks and Happy New Year. Keep up the great work. Always appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not, mate. Honestly, it's fine. It's my job. It's my job. It's no problem at all. The FPL content creators don't get Christmases off or winters off, really. Well, you get a little winter break, to be fair, in January. And we get international breaks and we get, well, depending if there's an international tournament, sometimes we get summers off as well. So there's plenty of time to rest. Just not this time of year. Why is Van Hecker so low? No DEFCON, playing away from home. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much that's it. Add Sharda, please. Okay. Nah, I don't think so. I think if you're buying Sharda, you're going to play him. Again, I think people misusing the bench list maybe. Like you're gonna play Shard. If you have Sharder, you're gonna play him. You're not gonna bench him pretty much in any scenario. Like I can't even imagine a squad that is gonna be benching Sharder. A few people have asked about Raul Jimenez though, so I think we can chuck him in. You're not gonna go super high away against Palace. It's not a great fixture. But he is a penalty taker, which helps. Am I actually going to put him this low? I am going to put him this low. Is this a little harsh? Maybe this is harsh. No, I'm gonna stick with my guns. We'll do a couple more goalkeepers. So we'll do Kelleher. You sure Palace are knackered? Not sure about anything really, to be honest, mate. But I think Palace being knackered just encourages them to play even more negatively and defensively. Dan, you missed my super chat. Oh, I'm so sorry. You get. Here it is. Hey there, Dan. Happy New Year. I have a benching headache. Which one to sit? Dallo, Cherky, Canate, DCL, Chalobah, Chow. We've got all of these players on the bench list. I play Cherky. I play Dallo. I think if we put, and then it's just Canate, DCL, Chalobah, Chow. So play Chow. And then, okay, we're down to 3. Canate, DCL, Chalobah. So I've got Canate above. No, I have Calvert-Lewin ahead of Canate. So I need to place Chalobah basically above or below Canate, and then we've got our answer, right? I think I'm going to put Chalobah down here. Oh, damn it. Put him here. Chalobah. So yeah, Chalobah to bench, I guess. Captain Haaland or Ekitike. I prefer Haaland to Ekitike, personally. I think if you were to say Haaland or Cunha, it might have been a bit closer of a decision. Did not see Cherky. That is pretty much the reason I asked. Yeah, Cherky's not on here, but like I would play Cherky. Yeah, I would play Cherky. Rice for a hit to Cherky. Ooh. It depends if you like Rice for the long term, what your plans are in terms of Rice long term. But like, and also depends what your bench is looking like. If your bench is strong, then there might be less motivation. Is my microphone back to front? Oh my god, yes it is. Wait, is it? No, it's not. I'm just like sat down wrong. Which way's the front of the microphone? Which one's back? I think my microphone is back to front. Maybe I need to twist this around. You know what? That is a problem for another day. I think it's meant to be this side. I'll resolve that later. Right. I think we're looking good. Does Kukurea play? There is some doubts around Kukurea, to be fair. But I don't know. I think he probably will play. But we never know these things for sure. All right. I think we can park the bench list for now because we've got our free hit team. We've got a wildcard team to show as well. So let's just park this for now. This on screen, guys, is the wildcard draft I made. In case anyone wanted to have a look at that. FPL Goodness says, "Hey mate, you need an Inter Miami jersey, not that LA Galaxy." You know what? I have had the intention of getting an Inter Miami jersey at some point. I've got a few MLS ones now, to be fair. I've got a what else have I got? What's the one with the Orca on it? Seattle Sounders. Right, and this is the free hit team as well. If you're on a free hit, you want to have a cheeky look at a free hit draft. This is what I've currently got. And then, finally, we have my team. The weakest of all three teams, probably. You would hope so. But yeah, I think it's looking okay. I mean, some people might like this more than I do. I think we've got enough bench coverage there as well in case we have any disasters. Hydan, Wilson and Collins to Dorgu and Sobslai for -4. Probably not, no. Bit luxury. Dorgu versus Dallo, who to transfer for Keane. Dorgu looks better short term. Dallo looks better long term. But both of them are pretty much short term picks because beyond the next 3 game weeks, you're probably not going to want to have Man United players, or certainly defenders. Any early team news leaks? Let's have a look to see if anything's. We got anything at all? Can't find anything. Actually, make sure we go on the right tab. Can't see anything too interesting. Other than Calafiori not with the squad, Timber is. We kind of mentioned that before. Rice expected not to play. Keane still doubtful. Anything else interesting here? Semenyo's in the squad to face Chelsea. Find anything else? The current expectation is Declan Rice is only a short-term absence, but despite the best efforts of the player and staff, it looks likely he will be left out in order to avoid the risk of aggravating the issue further. Okay, that's pretty much all I have right now. But we'll keep an eye on that over the final 10 minutes. Audio is a bit low. Did I move the microphone in a bad way? I will sort out the audio. I'll see what's going on because I think I've got the microphone on back to front. Hopefully you can hear me. If not, you could just turn the volume up, I guess. Sutton Backpacker says, Happy New Year, Dan, and to everyone here watching this stream. Hope you all have a healthy, prosperous, and fruitful 2026. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much, mate. And thank you for all your support over the years. Well, massively appreciated. Josh Pitt says, will Dorgu start? And the answer to that is, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, he is going to start. Oh, audio is fine. Yeah. What I really need is a Newcastle. Leak. Some variety. Shane Gatto says 2 defenders, Gahey, Gabriel, Lewis Potter, 1 attacker, Minter Ducio. Okay, I choose. Oh, Lewis Potter is interesting, isn't he? I choose Gabriel, Lewis Potter, and Calvert-Lewin. That's who I choose. I've seen all kinds of nonsense team leaks from absolute chances. Few people saying Gordon starts, but like I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced by this league. I guess we'll see. I'm just not convinced by any of these team leaks. You can't hear what I'm saying properly? What's going on, man? Why not? Am I like too far away from the microphone? Like, why are some people saying the audio is fine? Other people are saying he's not fine. It's not fine. Yeah, I can't. I'm trying to find solid Newcastle team leaks. I'm struggling, to be honest. Did you not say Collins is unlikely to get DEFCON because Spurs don't give up DEFCONs? Yeah, Collins is less likely than usual to get DEFCONs, but it's I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's much like okay, we need to resolve this situation then, don't we? Can I press the up plus button? Maybe this has helped. Oh, it has actually. Okay. I think that's a little bit better. I think also because because I've been sat here for like 2 hours, I'm kind of slouched a little bit. But hopefully that's a little bit better now. My apologies. It's because usually I'm sitting up here and I'm speaking directly into the microphone, but now I'm just like, ugh, I've been sat here for so long. Now it's really loud. My bad. People seem to think it's better generally, so we'll assume that's better. Mad Men at Work says, review my free hits. Lamans, Dorgu, Chalobah, Riley, Foden, Wilson, Verts, Cunha, Saka, Haaland, Ekatike, Subs, Verbruggen, Keane, Esteve, Gu. Would I pick Chalobah on a free hit? Probably not. Would I pick Wilson on a free hit? Probably not. Yeah, it's like what's missing here? Chelsea attack. Maybe missing a little bit of. You know what? I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I'm not super keen on Chalobah and Wilson, but aside from that, he looks reasonably strong. When was the last time I did a coin cost? It's been a while. I've not really had a reason to do any kind of coin cost. Dan, Anderson to Hull for a free. Yeah, maybe. It's a luxury move, but for free, yeah, sure. Not for a hit. Gordon in for Semenyo? Probably not. Unless we have absolute verification that Gordon is going to start, which I don't know if he is. I'm still trying to work out if we can get a Gordon leak. And I don't know if we're going to. A lot of people are buying Gordon, to be fair. A lot of people are buying Gordon. Who knows? We'll find out. Missed my super chat earlier about triple captain. Oh, my apologies, Josh. My deepest apologies. No, actually, no, I didn't miss it. I remember speaking about it. No, I do remember talking about that. What I said was, it's the last week to use a triple captain. So if you have a triple captain, you need to use it this week, or it's going to be removed. You're going to get a new fresh triple captain chip next week anyway. So I definitely use the triple captain chip and just pick who your favorite captain is. And that's more than likely going to be Haaland or Cunha. I think if I had a triple captain chip, I would probably use it on Haaland personally. But yeah, you got to use it. Is Michael Keane doubtful for the Everton game? Yes, he is. Some people are reporting that he's not even in the squad. So yeah, there are some major concerns about Michael Keane. But it seems to be mostly rumours at this point. I guess we'll see what happens. And Estrella says Vandenberg, Richards, Timber, Esteve, take a -4 now/later? Hmm. I think Esteve will be fine. I think Timber will be fine. I don't think Richards will play, but I think Vandenberg could be okay. As long as you have one other defender, I wouldn't take a -4. Which 5.1 or lower defender do you recommend? Probably Malik Chow or a Man United defender. Gonna keep trying for team leaks, guys, just for these last few minutes to see if anything comes out. But it doesn't seem to be the case. Would you vice Cunha or Gordon? Definitely Gordon. But sorry, definitely Cunha. I mean, that's what I have done. I've vice captain Cunha. Minter to start. I think Minter's going to start. Yeah. Timber for Virgil and Chow on a free. I think I'll just keep Timber and I'd keep Virgil for this week. Do we choose Cherky over Foden because he's cheaper? If you feel you can make the rest of the money, I mean, I wouldn't sell Foden for Cherky this week, not at this moment. If you had more time to make multiple transfers or something, then maybe. We started looking at chip strategy for the second set of chips. So I'm going to be making a chip strategy video in the January, the winter break, at some point during the winter break. So there will be a chip strategy, well, at least the first ideas of chip strategy. Some initial thoughts. Bruno G and Chalobah on the bench list. I think Chalobah's already on there. I think I would play Bruno G over Chalobah. Start Gahey or Grealish? I'd start Gahey over Grealish. Start to Rogers, Thiago, Wilson, Timber. I would start Thiago and Timber. Anderson or Keane. I would start Keane, hope for the best, but it's probably not going to start. And by the way, guys, just to let you know, the deadline is pretty much past at this point. We've got like 10 seconds left or something like that. So do make sure you are locked in. The time for questions is sadly over because you're not going to have time to react to it anyway. So I'm locked in. I'm happy, I think. Just refresh the page just to be absolutely 100% sure. Everything is in the correct order. Captain Haaland, Vice Captain Cunha. Happy days. Okay, guys. We are going to be locked in for the deadline. Deadline 19 has passed. Wow, there we go. There we go. I am going to stick around for the Newcastle team news so you can see my live reaction of how terrible I feel, essentially, when we get the news that Gordon is on the bench. Who else are we going to get? We're going to get Burnley, Newcastle, Chelsea, Bournemouth, Forest, Everton. So we're going to get Keane as well. We're going to get West Ham, Brighton, all in 15 minutes. Cool. So we're going to get 8 teams, team news in 15 minutes time. Nervous. A little nervous. People saying Gordon starts. I know exactly the source you're getting that from, and I can tell you for sure that that source is not reliable. Or has shown consistently in the past that they're not reliable. They may have changed now and are more reliable now than they were previously, but previously they were super unreliable. Like, got things wrong every week. So just be careful with that one, is what I would say. Because I know exactly where you're getting it from. Right, let's probably post my team. Actually, I'm going to wait till we get team news before I'm going to post my team on Twitter. Although, what am I going to do here? I might. A Nottingham Forest defender into my draft team. Who is available? Murillo available in my draft league? He is. I'm going to put Murillo into my draft. Yeah. We're going to do it. I like it. Okay. Okay. How are you all feeling, by the way, guys? Are we ready? Are we feeling confident? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if anyone's going to be feeling confident. It's one of those weeks where there seems to be a lot of nerves around because a lot of potential players who might be benched because it's midweek. There's a lot of potential injuries flying around. Let's go through some of these price changes. So, Ian, you're confident. Good to hear, man. So, Cunha, Calvert-Lewin, Hall, Gavardiol, Rice, Verbruggen, Alderete. Alderete going up. I hope that doesn't happen. Heaven, potentially as well. Dango, Kukurea, King, Mateta, Reinildo, Barnes, Bassi, Raul going down. Euro, Saka going down. No way. Trafford, Anthony, Foden potentially going down as well. I don't think that will happen. Wow. Why are people selling Saka, man? Why are you not confident with the defense? Rohi, I wasn't confident with my defense last week. So I know the feeling, but I think this week I'm feeling more optimistic about my defense, I think, if anything. Duncan says, not really asked, mate. Just so done with 2025 FPL and non-FPL wise. Hey, I get it, man. We go again 2026. Hopefully a better year. Mohammed says, I panicked and went from Michael Keane to Gabriel for a -4 hit. Hey, that could work out. That could work out, to be fair. You never know. MA Pike is nervous. Yeah, maybe. I would be maybe a little nervous. Wissa or Welbeck for my draft? If we get the news in 10 minutes that Wissa's starting, I would put him straight in. Actually, I need to check whether Wissa is actually available in my draft league or not. I'm pretty sure someone already rostered him. Yeah, they did. Presumably that was earlier this week. No. Oh, hang on. I'm the commissioner of my league, and I think they want to do some trades. Okay, I'm going to approve this trade. I don't know. So basically, my brother and my friend, this is the trade that they've made on their draft. So my brother receives Soboslai, and my friend, who is also in the league, receives Mason Mount and Raul Jimenez. Is that a good trade? I mean, they've requested this trade. I'm gonna process it. I feel like I'd rather have Soboslai than Mount and Jimenez. I guess the fact is it's two players. So the guy who's just sent Soboslai is actually the guy playing against me this week. Interesting. The Sobo one seems way better. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. Good trade for both parties, but Soboslai wins that one for sure. I think it depends, doesn't it, with draft? Because sometimes, like, you find yourself in a situation where your squad depth is just not there. You're missing players from certain positions, and actually, even if you have to sacrifice a player who's okay to get in return a couple of like okay players is sometimes, sometimes all you need. You just need that squad depth. Could never be me though. Jan sending me his draft. Hmm. Yeah, and what app are you using for your draft fantasy? I don't recognize this. So I don't know the scoring system. So here's my draft. Can't decide on my front row. How many forwards do you have? Are these all your forwards? Oh no, I see. I get it. I think I would pretty much leave it as it is. Maybe. Could you bench Richarlison for? I don't know. It depends. Can you react to team news? If so, if Welbeck's starting, then I'd put Welbeck in instead of Richarlison. But that's probably about all I would do. But there you go. Where do you check likely price changes? You can do it on the Fantasy Football Hub website /app. Marty says bench boost active, -12 points, and still have Alderete in defense. What have I done? Good at team otherwise. I mean, -12 is crazy, but I mean, you're going for it, Marty. By the way, thank you ever so much, Marty, again for a very overly generous super chat, which is absolutely not necessary. But I do appreciate it. But we'll be looking out for you, Marty, and hoping for the best. Good luck, my friend. Ian says, I think you can send invite links to the members Discord. Okay. I'll try and figure out how to do that because I still have no idea. Jan says we use Fantrax and set it to lock 1 hour before kickoff, so can't really react. Okay. In that case, you probably just have to go with Richarlison. Not worth the risk, is it? Cheers to you too, Marty. My favourite Irishman. Start Anderson or Rogers. We're a little bit late, Renatus. We're a little bit late there. Are you still in the FPL Cup? Oh, my word. No, I am not. I had the most horror of horror game weeks last week. 34 points? So, no chance. Basant says, happy belated birthday, Dan. Get any good presents? Oh, yes. I did. I need to show you. I mean, you may have already seen it. But if not, it's that. I got my holy grail football shirt that I've been trying to get for so long. My wife got it for me. Yes. A true beauty. So this is like one of the first. I spoke about this a little bit. It might have been last deadline stream. I'm not sure, but I spoke about this shirt as being the one of the first Arsenal shirts I remember when I was a kid, and loving it because it has Sega on it, and I used to play a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog. I always remembered that Sega, like as it said that at the beginning of the Sonic games. So this has always been a shirt that I would have loved to own because for me it's quite personal. It's one of the first Arsenal shirts I remember. I think Arsenal won the Premier League in 2002 in this shirt. Is that correct? Well, it was that season they won the Premier League and the FA Cup. Was it? I might be wrong there. Correct me if I'm wrong. But uh, this is the Sega shirt. I remember when I was a kid, but obviously as an adult, never had the shirt. Now I do. So this is an unreal gift. Like there was some other nice gifts, like some games and stuff like that, like board games. But this man is like truly. That is it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Fun fact: that shirt was for domestic games only. The European games we had Dreamcast as the sponsor. Is that the more? Was there like a yellowy one? That jersey is a top tier present from your wife. Yeah, it was, and she told me it was expensive as well. She didn't tell me how much. So there was a Arsenal Dreamcast kit away. Oh no, so it was this. Was it this one they used in Europe then? So that was for domestic games only. I said that's a really fun fact. And I think Sega means something rude in Italy. Oh, I see. So I think also the Arsenal Sega shirt. So this one. So this is 2001 to 2002. I think they also used it as the. I don't know why I'm showing. I've got it on screen. So I don't know why I'm showing it on screen when it's literally behind me. But I think they also used it as, if I remember correctly, the third shirt in 2003, maybe. Oh. Oh no, they changed it. Okay, so they changed it and put O2 on it instead. So this away shirt is probably the next one I'm after. This is the next one I'm after. So I didn't know they actually changed the. I knew they kept the same shirt, but I didn't know they changed it. So actually, they only used that one for 1 year, and only domestically. So it's actually quite a unique and quite a rare kit. I wonder it's like quite difficult to find. But yeah, I'm so happy with that, man. I'm so happy. 2004 to need a Nintendo kit. So yeah, there's a this Fiorentina had the Nintendo shirt in the 90s. And there's also like there's the other console kits. There's Xbox Seattle Sounders. They had those ones as well. Xbox 360 on there. So those are some fun ones. Maybe I should. Maybe this is the start of my collection of football shirts with games consoles on the front. Won it at Old Trafford. So would have won. So would have won that away kit, no? There you go. So that's their game at Old Trafford, and presumably the trophy lift was the game after. That's unreal. So it's literally a rare kit. Arsenal won at the Premier League at Old Trafford. It's such a good pickup, man. I'm so happy. And with that said, I think it's time for some team news, isn't it? Just about. If we'll see. Well, there is an obvious Dreamcast kit to collect too. That is very true. That is very true. Do you talk to any of the other FPL content creators? Not really any of the big ones, to be honest. I mean, if if I see them at any kind of meetups or anything like that, then I will. I mean, some of them used to message me about like the tips and stuff for getting set up on YouTube and how to do certain things. But I don't hear too much from them these days. Yeah, but I guess that goes both ways though. There are a few content creators I do talk to though, occasionally. But yeah, mostly just at meetups. When did you get the new Bristol City shirt? For Christmas. That's from my mum for Christmas. Will you do the fantasy football game for the World Cup, Dan? Absolutely, I will. Right, I'm gonna have to go to the Newcastle page, aren't I? Wait, no, that's not what I'm trying to do. Come on, Newcastle. Show me Gordon starting. It's not going to happen, is it? Oh, it is. Oh, all right. Hmm. Interesting. The relief I'm feeling right now is quite significant, I have to say. Oh, Gordon starts, Chow starts. Amazing. Amazing. Okay, well, let's just go through the teams. We'll go fixture by fixture, I guess. Burnley. Oh, man. Good stuff. All right. Dubravka. Esteves back in the squad, in the starting 11. This is... No Anthony, no Brune Larson. No Fleming. Where are the goals coming from? Famous last words. Baltimore bench, though? Yeah, I guess so. Right, so the next team is going to be... Oh, let's do Everton, because we need to know what's going on with Keane, don't we? Okay, so indeed, there is no Keane and no Grealish, even in the squad at all. Oh, no, Grealish is on the bench, sorry. But no Keane in the squad. It was literally one of the most popular transfers of the week. A lot of people are going to get stung by the Keane thing. Okay. Dan, you seem somehow sad to me today. Everything okay, man? You can't still be hungover, surely. I don't really drink anymore. I haven't really I think I've drunk like twice in the past 3 months. One was a wedding and one was a birthday party. A 30th birthday party, no less, for my brother. So, no, not hungover. I'm not sad either. I think I'm just tired, to be honest. Oh, you meant Grealish? I was going to say, I'm not hungover. What you meant from Christmas or something? No, I'm fine. I think I'm just tired because it's like there is so many videos to make at the moment. I always take way too long with my videos. A lot of people just knock FPL videos out in a few hours, but I just end up spending like 8 or 9 hours doing them. I don't know. It's my own fault for spending too much time on FPL videos. But I was up till like, I don't know, 3 a.m. last night before this morning's video went out. So I think it's just a bit of tiredness. I tell you what, because it's going to be like this for the next week. As soon as we get to that winter break, that will be very much appreciated, I think. If I just have a couple of days off. Although, to be fair, I'm not working tonight. I'm not working tomorrow in the day. Until the... Oh, will actually, no, that's a lie. I'll be doing Bicycle Keep Avoid tomorrow. Oh well. It is what it is. We love it. Okay, so let's do Forest. And then we'll do some other teams. So John is starting again. Sells on the bench again. No Ina still in the squad. Williams, Murillo, Anderson starts, which is good for me. Maybe Williams right back today. Zinchenko left back by the looks of things. No Savannah. Okay, still no Woods. Yeah, I know. Next fixture, let's do Chelsea Bournemouth. I think that's probably one of the more interesting ones. Nice if just FPL retweeted them all, but it doesn't look like they're going to be doing that. Right, Chelsea. Sanchez, Achimpong, Chalobah, Fofana, Gusto, Caicedo, Enzo, Esteval, Palmer, Garnacho, Delap. A lot of people bought James. Some people bought Joao Pedro as well. Some people bought Neto. There's going to be some people who will be disappointed by that. But we've got Esteval, Garnacho playing the wings, Delap's there. So is there a player missing? Achimpong, Chalobah, Fofana, Gusto. Oh, no, Cucurella. That's who's missing. Who's buying Trash Petra? I don't know. He scored a goal last week off his backside. Oh, we got some. We got a gifted membership. Mark has gifted a membership to Squirrel. There you go. A woodland critter. Shouldn't you be in hibernation, Squirrel, at this time of year? Thank you very much, Mark. That was very, very kind and very, very generous of you. I think a W in the chat for Mark is in order. W Mark. Anyway, but that's your Chelsea. There's rotation. There's rotation, guys. There is some rotation. Check out Bournemouth. So we've got Petrovic, Trafford, Sanesi, Brooks, Scott, Evan Ilson. I hate the order. Tavernier, Cliver, Jimenez, Hill, Semenyo. Who's missing? Diakite, Smith, Kruger Jr. Nothing really of note here, to be honest. Hey, mate, I did timber to Gabriel. Hope it doesn't backfire. You'll find out in half an hour's time. Good luck to you, I say. Okay, what else? What is the other fixture? It's West Ham versus Brighton. Let's do Brighton. So we've got Dunk, Van Hecker, Minter, Welbeck, Milner, Karioglu, Gomez, Ayari, Devkoy, Paveltman, of course, Verbruggen in goal. So Welbeck is starting. Rutter is not. Hinchelwood isn't. Mittermoy's on the bench as well. Okay, and finally, West Ham United. And we have Areola, Walker-Peters, Tadeo, Kilman, Skulls, Potts, Magassa, Fernandez, Paquetá, and Wilson. All right, well, I think we could pretty much wrap up there then, I think, guys. When I sold Welbeck, he starts. It's just the way, isn't it? Minter, thank God. To be fair, I thought Minter would start today. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining me for this deadline stream for Game Week 19. We're gonna try, and my brother is making some absolutely wacky moves on our draft league, but whatever. Thank you guys so much for the support today with the super chats and the chatting and the likes and the subscribes and everything like that. You guys have been smashing it recently, and I really do genuinely appreciate it. It genuinely does mean a whole lot. So thank you guys for the support recently. It's been awesome. And very motivating to keep me going during this period where like it's video after video every day. We're going to try and do buy, sell, keep, avoid tomorrow. I appreciate there'll be 8 teams who will have not played, but the next deadline, guys, is what, like, it's like the second or third, I think, the third. So it's weird because the fixtures are split. So we've got games today, no games tomorrow, and then games on Thursday, and then we've got a deadline on the 3rd. So we're going to have to get buy, sell, keep, avoid out probably tomorrow. Another video on the 1st, another video on the 2nd. That's the only way I can really think of doing it. So awkward, but whatever, we'll see it through. But guys, appreciate everything. We'll be back tomorrow with videos. Cheers, guys, and yeah, I'll see you later, mates. Good luck, particularly Gordon owners. Good luck to you guys in particular. See you later, mates. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. There's the outro. Yeah, okay. I couldn't find the right button. Cheers, guys. Bye. Take care.